And here I go. Hey guys, this is your girl TamCam, and welcome to another edition of the TamCam Podcast Show. This is the month of March, and in March we are celebrating Women in History. That's right. And yesterday we was celebrating International Women's Day, right? So as you can see, I have this beautiful lady here, my friend of probably more than 15, 20 years. You know, one of my very first friends when I first moved to Dallas, LaToya Forbins. Say hello, girlfriend.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
Now, let me tell you, as you get older, it's more and more important that you keep your friends, like your true friends, around. And I have to say, LaToya is such a great friend. We support each other's business. And it's such a pleasure to have you back on my podcast, because I'm just extremely proud of you.
Oh, thank you. You're going to make me cry. I don't want any makeup running.
No, I'm really saying this like from my heart, and I really want to say this publicly because, you know, life is short. We're living in a crazy time right now, and you just never know, you know, if you ever get a chance to just give people their verbal flowers, per se.
Right.
So I brought you on the show because, first of all, like I said, I truly admire everything you've gone through, you know, in the last years, you know, and people who saw your first interview will know that you have been through a lot, and people who know you now will know that you have accomplished so much. And I just told you the other day, I see you on Instagram, I see you on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my God, like maybe I need to step up my game, you know, and you need people like you. You know, I need people like you in my life to keep me, you know, going and competitive. So let's let everybody know who you are, what you do, and then we'll just take it from there.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. First of all, I want to say I admire you, Tamira. You have encouraged me over the years, and me just watching you, that has really helped me to step my game up. So don't think that what you're doing is not being seen. You're definitely doing the work. You're putting in the work. So faith without works is dead, and you really have been putting in the work, and you have been very faithful to
Thank you.
your vision. And so that's really inspired me as well.
Nice.
But I am LaToya Forbins of Infinite Possibilities Spa, and I'm a licensed massage therapist and esthetician, and I have been doing massage almost 20 years, but I've been a licensed esthetician for about 7+ years. And so that's the kind of whole summary of it. But as Tamira mentioned, I do have a long history of just, you know, some things that have happened in my past that have caused me to maybe stymie my growth in my entrepreneur journey. But I've definitely kept pursuing in spite of those obstacles, and you know, that's what being a woman is all about. We can't, you know, quit. We can't give up.
Perseverance, yeah.
We have to persevere toward our goals. And in spite of those things, I've just had to do what I've had to do. And again, having other people around me that inspire me, that encourage me, like Tamira and like some other women in business, it just really reassured me that you can do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's not too hard. And when you're passionate about what you do and you're passionate about the people that you serve, then there's nothing like waking up every day doing what you love to do. I mean, it's just nothing like it. Like, I can't even imagine being in a workforce that that stifles your creativity, that stifles your voice, that stifles your freedom. And so I wouldn't exchange it for anything in the world.
Exactly. I was just telling someone the other day that, you know, I just started a new business where I'm driving a shuttle, and it feels so good to be out, you know, because for 15 plus years I've been, you know, working from the studio, and now working at home is not a thing anymore. You know, it's like everybody's pretty much working from home. So I'm just so glad that I'm finally, you know, at a place where I can just, you know, I have a choice of going back and forth from one career to the next. So let's go ahead and give everyone a little bit of your background. So how did you get into Healing Hands? Because I remember you saying that one time that your profession is basically healing.
So it all goes back 25 almost years. My oldest son, he's 24, and
he's 24?
Yes. And
good Lord.
I know. He turned 24 in September.
I've been knowing her kid since he was probably like 3. Oh my God. So now we're dating ourselves.
Maybe 2.
Oh my God.
He was probably 2 years old. But crazy. Yeah, and it's crazy because he just got his driver's license yesterday.
Wow.
He is, so he's 24 and a half. Mm-hmm. And when he was born at Presbyterian Dallas, he was born premature. He was 6 weeks early. Mm-hmm. The nurses, one of the nurses in particular, suggested for me to massage him in the NICU. Mm-hmm. And, she was
in the NICU.
In the NICU.
What is that?
The neonatal intensive care unit.
Oh, okay.
So that's for the preemie babies, the very tiny babies. So he's like 4 pounds, 6.5 pounds.
Okay, all right.
Lungs weren't completely developed. Things weren't developed properly at 6 weeks early. Mm-hmm. And so, she just mentioned to me to massage him. And at this time, I was young mother.
What were you doing?
19. I was 19 years old. Mm-hmm. I think I had just barely graduated high school. And giving him massage, she said, would help to stimulate his growth, would help his heart, his lungs to develop. And she just really rattled off all these benefits of massage for the newborn.
Right.
And I was just like, wow, this is great for an infant. Like, massage is this healing, like it's this therapeutic. And this is someone from the medical community telling me something that is touch related, that is not related to medicine. And so when I heard that, in my 19-year-old brain, immediately I was just like, well, if this is so therapeutic and healing for a baby, then this has to be therapeutic and healing for adults. So why are we not getting massages? Why are adults not receiving this type of touch?
Right.
And it took me some time to really like investigate what those reasons were, because I was not a privy to massage at 19 either. So it was foreign to me about massage. So even wanting to do massage, I had no background knowledge about massage and anything, exposure to massage. I had never had a massage at that point in time in my life either. So, but I still just something just dropped in my spirit, and I knew it was just God's voice saying, this is what you're called to do. This is what you are going to do. And immediately I set out on the journey of, doing just a little bit of research, finding out where the schools are, how long school's going to be, how much is it going to take for me to do massage therapy. And of course, being a new mom, single mom, I wasn't able to go to school right away. However, as, my perseverance and as God would align me, in the path of where I was to go, 5 years later, I want to say even maybe 6 years later, I ran across a business, Origins, Natural Resources. It's
Origins.
I
remember you used to work there.
Yeah. So, things lined up for me to work for that company in North Park, and they had a spa. They just so happened to have a spa, the only spa in this region. Like, the only other spa was in Soho, which was in New York. So for Dallas to actually have the one and only, and actually I think we had the number one spa.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah, we were the flagship store at North Park. So so for me to be able to be aligned with that particular business, it was just orchestrated for me to work for that company. And it also fostered a love for the spa environment, the industry, working with people.
What I love about that is you were working closer to your dream. And I always tell my high school seniors, because I'm a high school senior photographer, work closest to your dream whenever you're doing intern. And I felt like, your life was just being molded. And, when you're working closer to your dream, you're actually getting paid to learn, instead of you paying for education, which nowadays you can get it for free, or you can, volunteer if you want to, but it's better if you get paid to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It, like that old song back in the day, I can't remember. I want to say Mickey Howard. Love Under New Management, but she said,
girl, I was just listening to that the other day.
Love Under New Management, but it says, isn't it the one? Experience is a good teacher.
Girl, it takes someone like me
to know. Yeah, so that song literally was just playing in my head as we were talking about.
We are really dating ourselves.
We are old, but we are seasoned to perfection.
Yes, baby. Yes,
seasoned to perfection. But yeah, so experience is a really good teacher, and as I've worked in different environments, I really adopted a lot of information. Like I wasn't just working in these companies; I collected data along the way. Yeah, especially at Origins. I was there 5 years.
Yeah.
Their product.
You were there 5 years?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, I was there 5 years. Yeah. But I collected data. I collected information about like how they service their, clients, their guests. Even some things now I'm picking up and I'm thinking, oh, we did that at Origins. Right. And I'm thinking like, how can I implement those
in your business?
Those little nuances of what is great customer care.
Right.
So, but anyway, as I was speaking about being at Origins, they had a college or they had a tuition reimbursement program. So I was able to work there, but I had to work there at least a year, which I was going to do anyway, because I enjoyed working for that company.
Right.
So I worked for them, and I think I didn't even know about it when I first started working there. I just started working there because they had like this whole ambiance of what I enjoyed.
Wait, this is Origin, or you say
Origin?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I worked there anyway because the ambiance was the smell.
I remember, and I think that's the one thing I remember when I used to come and visit you. Like soon, you can walk by the store and you can just smell that menthol, just very refreshing.
And to my personality, that has always been my thing. Like I've always enjoyed baths.
Right.
Self-care has always been a part of my journey, even as a young girl. Like I used to love to take baths and do.
So you was always drawn towards the self-care, but you just didn't know exactly what industry that was.
I had no idea that was even something that I could tap into.
See, that's what I always say. We never know what we're interested in until we get exposed to it, So I think a lot of us, meaning people of color, Black people, whatever you want to call it, African Americans, we don't take, just like we don't do self-care, we don't take care of our mental. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty. I don't, take notice of it until I have to do it. Like, if I need to talk to someone, I'll go seek out a therapist. Or if, like when my back went out, you took care of me. Oh my God, I never want to go there again. Right. My back totally went out, but LaToya saved me. I think we did like 2 or 3 treatments. So, and I know, as you get older, you really got to start taking care of yourself. Why do you think, we as women of color, we don't, invest in ourselves?
Well, first of all, slavery.
Break it down, girl.
Slavery. So if you think about the history of the women that come before us, think about what they had to do to just survive. Like surviving has always been in our history. Right. And we have just become blessed enough to have leisure, time.
In this day and time.
But because in this day and time, within the past maybe 10 to 20 years, have we actually been able to have like luxury of time. But I think because we hadn't been trained or hadn't been exposed to leisure and enjoying
I think that's
self-care.
Why, most white people think and most doctors think our skin is so tough,
Yeah, because we can endure.
Yeah, we can endure because we had to endure.
Yeah, But I think here lately, and I would say lately within the past like 3 to 5 years, it has been very laser focused on Black women and Black people in general. Right, taking care of our mental health and also our physical health, because stress is the number one killer in every kind of illness and disease that you think about. Yeah, stress is the number one killer.
Can stress be measured?
You know what? I'm actually honestly not sure, but I know that if you think about all the different illnesses, high blood pressure.
Right.
Like that's a measurement.
Okay.
You know, if your pressure is high.
So you can measure the symptoms, the cause of the stress.
Causation, yes.
Yeah,
probably.
but the symptoms are very random, right?
I'm sure. So everybody's body is going to be different. So you're going to experience stress in a totally different way than maybe myself.
Right.
However, you know some of the key components to your own body. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about getting massage on a regular basis is once you start becoming more aware of your body, I think we've had to check out of our bodies.
Explain that.
So again, back to slavery. We've just had to endure. We didn't have time to feel. We didn't have time to be hurting. You just had to take care of what you had to take care of. And there was no, you had no luxury of saying, I don't feel like doing this.
Right. So
you had to just get it done.
Endure it.
You had to just endure. Again, back to slavery. They didn't have the opportunity to say, I'm cramping or my mental health, I'm not mentally all here.
So do you think there's some truth to that?
Absolutely.
I mean, as far as because we endure so much, do you think that made our DNA so strong?
You know what? I think our DNA does change based off of our mental.
Maybe our tolerance level is a bit higher than. I mean, I don't want to give excuse to
definitely don't want to give excuse to it because, again, everybody is different.
I only say that because if you look at most athletic people, they are very muscular. We are very strong. We dominate in racing. We dominate in anything that has like a physical ability. And I always think that's because as slaves we used to run a lot, we worked out in the fields a lot, so we inherit all those DNA traits from our past generations. You think there's some truth to that?
Yes and no, because I don't want to give credence to making us more I don't want to give credence to the fact that we are able to tolerate more pain.
I understand.
Because again, everybody is different.
Exactly.
So even now this generation, like this new generation, they don't tolerate things as much as what we kind of had to tolerate.
So that means they're changing the DNA pattern.
They're changing the mentality of I have to take it.
Right.
They're speaking out. They are being very verbal. I remember one day my son told me, my body, my choice.
Wait, what? Your son told you that?
My youngest told me that because Micah, of course. But I was going to give him a hug and he was like, no, I don't want a hug.
And where did he hear that from?
He learned it, to protect himself from people who
These
were invading.
kids.
I know. So they're learning language, and those were not things that we were privy to.
Yeah.
To speak our mind, like you didn't have a voice. So again, back to what I was saying. So over the years, we've gained knowledge about things. We've been exposed to things because of TV, because exposure to different conversations, to different environments.
Exactly.
I have an aunt who works for the Adolphus Hotel in the French Room. She's been exposed to fine dining, and the upper echelon of living to the point where it spills over into even my own life, to where I'm privy to information, products or services or things that would not necessarily be on our radar,
right?
If we were not exposed to it. So as long as I've been, exposed to my aunt, I have gotten to know, certain brands that would not be on my radar,
right?
Because we're just not exposed to those things, and things of luxury that would not necessarily, and it's not like luxury that's overly exposed, like Louis Vuitton. Those are things that are very obvious. Right. I'm talking about Le Creuset. Cookware.
Exactly,
and cutlery.
Right.
And things that you, and wine glasses, and even wines, and things that you wouldn't even think about because that's not on our radar.
That's why I always tell people, get out of your environment. If not, get out of your city, get away from, everything that you know of, once you become 18 or whatever, and explore the world. And if you feel a need to come back, then come back. But I mean, there's just so much. And I do agree with you, because when I used to work at Williams-Sonoma,
yes.
I used to work there, and I do not like cooking at all. I mean, anybody who knows me, I do not like picking up a pot or a pan, but lately I have been the last 2 years. But I always believed in this saying, be careful of your environment, because you may just become a product of it. Absolutely. And so sure enough, I think I was working for Williams-Sonoma for 2 years. Sure enough, I started buying things that I saw every day, because I was working in an environment, whether I used it or not, I still was I was learning about it. So, I mean, that's just a slight example of, when you put yourself in a certain environment, you become more aware, or you start taking part in it as well. Yeah, adopting. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And then also the thing of it is, with moving out of your environment, you also have to change your mentality about the people that you're going to now be exposed to. You get to choose a new circle of people.
Exactly.
And that requires vulnerability. That requires that you be open and receptive to newness, like being exposed to different people and not being intimidated by people that may be living a different lifestyle than what you would normally live.
Exactly.
And so changing environments is good, but you can actually change environments and find people that are just like the people that were in your old town.
Wow.
So that's, and I've witnessed it for other people. You move out of town and they're like, oh, well, this is just like that. No, you're the same.
Yeah, you're not changing your mindset.
You're not changing your mindset. You're not being open and willing to expose yourself to a level of lifestyle that maybe you want to achieve or grow up to be. You know what I'm saying? So it requires you being very intentional about the relationships that you cultivate, the people that you listen to on a regular basis. And so all of those things matter. All of those things matter.
So you're from Wichita?
I'm from Wichita Falls.
Falls, Texas.
Yes.
I've been there one time, and I think it was when I drove you there.
Oh, yeah. We went to and you didn't even go to Wichita Falls. You went to Electra, baby. That's
really?
Like 20, 30 minutes outside of Wichita Falls. So it is like even more country.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So my question to you is, do you think you would be the woman you are today if you had stayed in Wichita or Electra?
I knew as a little girl that this was not for me. Like, I knew.
You had your sights set on Dallas. Yeah.
And it wasn't even Dallas in particular. It was, I knew that this particular lifestyle here was not for me. Like, I knew very young. And it actually took my aunt who, like I said, that she exposed our family to a different side of life. Right. Because she moved to Dallas.
Wait, which one? Because I know.
Aunt Connie.
Okay, yeah,
my Aunt Connie, the one who works at the office in the French room. It took her moving when she was 19 to Dallas. Like, she literally took the leap of faith. Right. Moved out of Dallas because she too had this hunger for a better lifestyle,
a change,
and was not going to find it in Wichita Falls, and still it is not there. So especially for Black people, like, it is just not there. Yeah. So because she exposed herself to something new, she moved and changed her environment and changed her social circle. It exposed our family to newness, right? And of course, because she was one of my favorite aunts. I, adopted a lot of, things from her. I got to be exposed to a lot of her friends and the environments.
Did you resist at first?
Absolutely not.
You took it all in?
No, absolutely not.
That's good.
No, I always, now, when I did move down here one time when I was younger, I did resist, the discipline that she tried to instill in me. But I did move down here when I was maybe 12. Yeah, I moved down here when I was 12 years old with her. Wow. And I think I was even 11, if I'm not mistaken, because I think I turned 12 here in Dallas.
Wait, so you moved here permanently?
I moved here to live with her to go to school.
Oh, okay.
In middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, so
and did you ever go back?
I did go back to Wichita Falls, yeah. But it was a little faster than what I thought. It was a lot faster than what I thought. But however, she, just the discipline of what she was trying to like tell me what to do or whatever. Something happened to where I was still in that rebellious phase.
Of course, yeah.
So she sent me back to my mom.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
And so I went back home, but I always missed being in Dallas. Like it never stopped being something that I wanted to do. And I actually moved back to Dallas when I was 15 or 16.
Okay.
So just a few years later.
Yeah.
It took me a couple more years
Right.
to like get prepared. So when I was in I think I was a sophomore or junior, I did move back to Dallas. And it was because my grandmother, my cousin was going to college at UTA, and my aunt moved to Dallas. And then my male cousin, they also moved to Dallas. And so they found an apartment way up in far north Dallas. And I think we had enough rooms for me to move. So I moved here with them. I didn't even move here with my mom. I moved here with my cousin, my aunt, and my grandmother. And yeah, I think I was 15.
Okay.
And I moved back to Dallas and been back. I've been here ever since. So it was where I was destined to be. And
exactly.
I do love Dallas. I really enjoy being here because even as I've been here as long as I have, I'm still finding newness. Like I'm still finding pockets and
little treasures, little gems
that I can enjoy, that I haven't discovered. So I'm still, learning Dallas.
And as you should. I mean, the thing I love about being an entrepreneur is we're learning every day a different, just something, rather or versus, someone's working a traditional job and, doing the same thing day in, day out. So, I mean, it's truly a blessing to be where we are. So tell me, where did you get the name Infinite Possibility? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
That was
because the logo, I'm gonna go ahead and put a picture of the logo. The logo is phenomenal.
Oh wow.
I love it. And I think I told you that when you first came up with it, about 5 years ago?
The logo?
The new logo, I should say.
Yeah, the new logo. So how I came up with the name of the business was, again, just kind of sitting in and meditating on more about longevity. Like, how is this going to speak years later? Like, what is this name? I was trying to be trendy at first, and this was in 2005. I was thinking of things that were more along my personality, Piscean, this or that, or whatever. Just things that were more like personable. But then it really became clear that it was bigger than it. The vision that I had for longevity was bigger than just the now and me. It wasn't me centered. It was definitely more about how far this thing is going to go. And I didn't have a vision for that. I just knew it's going to go far. Right. So infinite possibilities meant unlimited potential, like untapped.
I love it.
Unlimited potential. And to be honest, I didn't even know that. Like, I literally am speaking my business into existence. From then on, infinite is very much a God thing. Like, that was not something that that I was very knowledgeable about at the time, but over the time, it just became more and more clear to me that, wow, like, it has evolved. Like, even my vision for where I'm going has evolved. And
like taking on a life of its own, it's
taken on a life of its own. And it's going to require infinite possibilities. It's going to require infinite wisdom. It's going to require infinite energy. And it's not something, again, that is just me centered. Like, it is not all me. It is going to take collectivity, which is, universal. Like, it takes all of us. Like, it's going to take more than just me. So in that name, I can also say this. I will say I was inspired. I will say I cannot say that I was not inspired by a song by Amel LaRue from, I want to say maybe 2000 something.
Who's
Amel?
Is
LaRue?
That a singer?
Yeah, she is from.
Okay, sing a little.
She is from Groove Theory. She's the lead singer from Groove Theory.
What was the song?
So she had a song called Infinite Possibilities.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'm going to have to look that one up.
Yeah, that song. Yeah. So that song is actually about a man. And she was talking about his untapped potential.
Okay.
And I really, really loved that song. And it really like resonated with me in my spirit. And so that song also kind of sealed that, you know, that name. And I was like, yeah, that really, and then looking up, what does infinite mean?
Right.
What does possibilities mean?
Right.
And then also, you know, just kind of putting that all together.
I think that's why I use, you know, I call myself always TamCam. I use that as my tagline because I always want that to be a reminder to keep moving, you know, instead of saying keep moving, Tam. I wanted to choose one word that kind of describe like my whole brand, like always get up, always keep going, always keep trying, you know. So if anyone didn't know, actually, I don't think I even really verbally talked about, you know, why I named myself always TamCam. So I really do resonate why you called it Infinite Possibilities. But I'm glad to know now. Okay, so now we're in the second half of the show and we want to talk more about self-care. So tell me this. I want to go through all the ages, since this is Women's History Month and you are making history. You are inspiring so many people because every day you're doing something that's going to inspire the future generation. And we will go ahead and touch on you hiring people for your business. But let's go ahead and talk about self-care. What should anyone be doing in their 20s? And then we're going to go to 30s and 40s. Like, what should you be focusing on as far as self-care?
You know, I never really thought about like compartmentalizing like age or, you know, anything like that.
We can start backwards if you want. I mean, because we're both in our, should we say it?
I'll say
well, let's go ahead let's go ahead and start with the 50s. You know, someone in their 50s, what are they doing? What should they be doing?
You know, I really can't like compartmentalize it. I really can't because I really believe it spans age. Because here's the thing. If you're 50 and you hadn't been doing self-care, you're going to need to start where a 20-year-old would start.
Right.
I really can't say like age-wise. I really cannot.
Okay. Well,
I really cannot because it all is it kind of like layers. Like you really
I don't think when you're in your 20s, self-care is not like, it's almost like, you know, life insurance. You're not thinking about that. You're like, okay, I got the rest of my life to even invest in that. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and just group everything. What should a woman be doing right now, whether they're 20 or 80, to take care of themselves?
Journal.
Journal?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Journal your thoughts. And the reason why I say that is because I journaled when I was very, very young. Mm-hmm. And I think being aware of your thoughts is very important, like to write things down. And I would say I have, you know, gotten away from that. Mm-hmm. But that is one thing I know mentally when I was younger. Mm-hmm. It helped me become aware of like language. I think we don't think about like how to communicate. I think writing things down, like journaling your thoughts, journaling what has happened throughout the day, it taps you into your thought process. And I think a lot of times we don't think about how we think, and how we think affects how we act.
What if you want to, you know, record it? I mean, does that have the same effect?
You know, I think I think it could. Mm-hmm. I think it could really be a good way. But if you're, I think writing really does force you to really think about what you're saying.
Right.
And when you're writing it down.
Why is that? Why you think because we're physically moving?
I think we're
the fingers.
You're kind of like you're thinking and you're doing
versus
just talking. Because a lot of times we just talk.
Right.
And we're not aware of what we're saying. Okay. But when you write things down, it seems like it's more of a commitment.
It's like
it's more a commitment. Think about when you write a goal down.
Right.
When you write when you're writing like a mission, or if you're writing a to-do list, it becomes a little bit more permanent.
More
when you
focused.
See it. Yeah. When you can see it as well.
Right.
Than just you saying it and then you don't see it.
That makes sense.
you don't see it, or you may not really listen to it again. But if you write it down on a piece of paper and you kind of have to commit to what you've said,
right.
There's just something powerful about writing things down.
And I've heard that before, but I always have a problem, like if I'm at a seminar or a conference, writing notes as I'm listening. I've always had that bad. I don't do that very well. So I listen more. But I try to stand up if I'm at a conference, because I feel like I can retain it better if I'm moving, or if I'm sitting down, I just don't retain it better.
But that's more about learning.
Right.
So this is about being self-aware.
Exactly.
This is about being more tapped into who you are, your thought process, and
I get that.
And how you come off to the world.
Right.
So like taking inventory. That's another thing. Writing things down and rereading those things. Like, think about like what you thought about and how you can evolve. Like,
right.
I think those things are very important, because a lot of what we think, we project those onto other people. So when I say project, how we think about ourselves, how we think about other people, how we think about the world, we project that onto other people. So say, for instance, we know that energy is attracted.
Right. It's transferred.
It's transferred, but you also attract. So when you are putting certain energy out into the world, for instance, and I've seen this time and time again, and I've done it my own self.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be a terrible day. Oh, people are not going to like me, or people are going to give me bad service over here at the McDonald's or whatever.
Because you're expecting it.
So it's a self-fulfilled prophecy. You are projecting that negative energy out there. So then once you get it back, then you can say, see,
right.
See what I mean?
Exactly.
See what I mean?
So when something
they
like
never
that,
give me good service, but if you come with a good positive energy, with a good attitude, and you're already projecting good positive energy, they're going to give you what you're giving out.
And I get that, because I actually went through a scenario like that last week. But as far as journaling, if something like that happens, should I come home and say, okay, today was a bad day, and I should start writing it down? I mean, that's
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is something that it's being in tune to yourself. Right. So you can start saying, like, writing it down. What happened? This happened.
And I can get that. And I want to say this verbally, because I can see where it's different writing versus talking. Because when you're talking, you can be thinking about 10 different things, literally. You're not really focused on what is being said. Right. But if you're writing, you're focused on it. So I can see how journaling can be a powerful source of, self-healing. Okay, cool.
And then just, being more, again, focused on what you're talking about in the moment, writing that down and reflecting on that, like saying, okay, how could I have made this situation better? Right. For instance, you go into a situation where something doesn't go your way. Now, and this has been something that has taken time for me to even evolve to understand. But just because that situation happened, it may not even be about you. Like, say, for instance, you get bad service or whatever. If you think about it for a moment, you're not sure what that person is really going through. They are also a person. Right. They're also having life experiences. Right. And so it may not necessarily be you that caused them to behave that way, or to trigger them to behave in a way that is not.
I feel like in some ways it is our fault, because if we are like collecting those thoughts, like if we just had a bad experience and we walk into another situation where we're interacting with people, you're bringing that negative energy. Like we said, you get it transferred, and it transfers onto other people, and you don't even realize what your face look like. You can have your bitch resting face on, and people see that, and then they're like, okay, here come this angry person or whatever. Right. And I actually challenged myself. I was talking to a friend where I said, I don't know why I'm having such a bad day. I said, I'm getting crappy service, And she was like, are you hungry? I was like, girl, I haven't eaten. So that's probably what it is.
So you're having this angry face.
So before I ate, I ordered my food. And so I was like, okay, I'm about to put a little test on myself. So I actually went to my favorite restaurant, Chili's. I love Chili's. Went to Chili's and I was so happy because I'm like going to get a bacon cheeseburger. I'm like, oh my God. And so I could see, like, I'm talking to the hostess. Hi, I'm here for a pickup. And she was like, at the bar. And I'm like, okay.
Your mood changed.
Yeah, so my mood changed because I
anticipation
exactly
of getting that thing.
Mm-hmm. So mind you, I had 2 bad experiences before because I was hungry, but now I know I'm going to get some food. I'm already getting happy because I know
energy is different.
10 minutes now, in 10 minutes, I might be eating that burger.
Right.
So I go in, I go to the bar. I said, hi. I said, my name is Tam. I come to pick up my food. And she says, she was like, okay, here's your bill. And I said, can you add a corn on there? And she was like, don't worry about it. I'll just go ahead and give you the corn. I'm like, what?
Yes.
I was like, okay, I see the difference now.
It really does happen.
So good things started happening to me when I changed my attitude. So.
Right. And I listen, I have been in some situations where I've seen people's attitude.
And I just want to add this. I did give her a nice tip. So I gave her the appropriate tip. Always tip your server. And I gave her the amount of the corn, so she had a really good tip.
Yeah. But I have witnessed where people are, you are warring within yourself, with yourself.
I love that. I never heard of it before.
You're having an internal war with yourself. And you think people are not going to feel that war within you? You think that when you come in the presence of someone else, they don't feel that you are not at peace. Like that is a state of being.
Yeah.
Being at war within yourself is a state of being. And when you come encounter with someone else who's at rest or at peace and you bring that into their atmosphere, it's just like when someone walks into a room and you know that they have an attitude. When you were children and your mom was angry and she came into the house and y'all were having fun and you knew she was angry, or your dad came into the room and he was angry, it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same.
When you're an adult and you come into a space where other people are, whether they're up or down, you can change the whole atmosphere.
Exactly.
With your own internal war or your own internal peace.
We can talk all day about energy. Energy is such a broad,
it's so real. It's
controversial,
so real. And people don't think that they present
topic. Yeah.
They don't present anything. They don't they think that because they may be faking a look.
Yeah.
They may be faking peace within themselves, that you bringing a neutral energy. It's never neutral.
Oh no,
it's never neutral. It's you're either emitting something or you're pulling something.
Exactly.
So so writing those things down, being aware of how you think, will definitely change your energy as well, because you'll become aware of the they call it stinking thinking. But those are things you need to research. You need to research what are negative thoughts.
Right.
What are really negative thoughts? Like, if I'm thinking everybody is against me, why do I think that everybody's against me? Where does this come from?
Exactly.
So you really need to take some inventory of your mentality, and do the work. So that's but the journaling is a start.
Yeah.
And then doing the work is another part. And sometimes you may not know how to do the work. So you do need help. So you need therapy. Someone that can actually read a book.
So a therapist would tell you probably to journal, right? I mean, I can assume that that's the first thing that they would tell you.
Because they too want you to be aware of some of your thoughts.
Right.
And
exactly.
they're going to want you to bring some things back so that you can share how you responded to certain things. Because how you respond has a lot to do with how you're thinking.
Okay.
So
I want to go back to what should women at any age should be doing as far as like their body, like what should they be taking care of or paying attention to?
So,
because I mean, I can definitely say, a mature woman should be taking care of her back.
Right.
Especially if you're sitting at home all day, which we all are right now. A lot of us are not working out as much as we should. And I was just thinking about this before you came. I was like, I definitely need to start paying more attention to my feet.
You know what? That's so funny that you were going to say that. I was going to go straight to the feet because this is a thing that women do. We wear heels. I'm wearing some heels, some cute boots now, but it's not my normal thing. I wear comfortable shoes normally. Yeah. But if you're on your feet
Let's show the shoe cam. No, I'm just kidding.
No. They're just boots, okay? But anyway, so we wear shoes that are uncomfortable for our feet. So those things are going to affect like how our body shifts.
Oh,
that's going to affect your knees. That's going to affect your back. Like I'm walking in these boots.
That's a good nugget. Yeah.
I'm walking in these boots right now being really extra cute. However, my back hurts.
Oh.
So I'm going to take them off immediately once the interview is over and put on my tennis shoes for work.
Yeah.
But being aware of those things that cause pain to your body, it's about being aware of your entire body. So when something hurts, that's the signal to your body, your brain. It's a signal from your body to your brain. Something is off. Pay attention to this.
Right.
You know, something is causing pain. So that's one of the reasons why massage is really good for us. And that I discovered that, you know, whenever it came time for me to become a massage therapist, I realized that self-care is not selfish. You do present better when you feel better.
Oh yeah.
Like when your body is more at homeostasis, when you're not in pain. You know, if you're in chronic pain all the time, something is always hurting you, that is going to affect your mood. That is going to affect how you present yourself in the world. But if your body feels good, you're not in pain, you're not having to think about that pain. You're able to have more, you know, a pep in your step.
Right.
And
it just makes your day altogether, you know, much better.
Right. And it's funny that we are talking about self-care because this is the month of March. It's Women's History Month.
Right.
But I decided to make March 31 day marching into self-care.
Oh.
So marching into 31 days of self-care. So I'm actually promoting that on social media right now. 31 marching into self-care.
And what does that entail?
Days. So I'm giving out tips every day on, you know, social media platform. And of different self-care tips that they can, you know, things that you can do.
Can you give us
a couple?
Yeah, a couple.
Let me give you a couple.
All right.
Dance to your favorite upbeat tune. Which
nice.
I have a video on Instagram of me just doing a little dance.
And what's your favorite tune?
It's not it wasn't my favorite. It was just something that was really popular on TikTok or something, so I just kind of danced to that song. But if I were to say
what gets you going, girl?
What gets me going is Teddy's Jam by Guy.
Wait, Teddy's Jam by Guy.
I'm old, girl. I'm old.
Girl, don't. Yeah.
80s and 90s music
Teddy's Jam
gets me going.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Teddy's Jam by Guy, girl. Yes.
Teddy's Jam. All right, give me another nugget.
So anyway, let's see. Oh, sit by a body of water.
Why a body of water? What does water do?
Water is just so calming and healing. So if you think about just the sound, so if you've ever listened to like ocean waves,
right,
or like the trickle, that's why that's in like the meditative side of the music industry, or whenever you're in a spa, they've got water trickling because it's serene.
Exactly.
It kind of calms your mind. It just gives you a very sedative kind of state of being.
Right.
So even just listening to the waves, it's just calm and peaceful. So it just kind of like puts your body at a more relaxed state. So you're a little bit more calm and relaxed.
All right.
So,
give me one more.
One more.
Oops, sorry guys, my dog Snapshot just jumped on my lap.
Oh, do something creative.
Oh, okay.
Do something creative.
Give me an example. I mean, I know it could be so broad on what you can do.
Creativity is very broad. However, a lot of people think that they don't have any creative bone in their body. Coloring books.
Coloring.
At the beginning of the pandemic, do you know that was one of the things that was selling out? Is crayons.
I did see that on Shark Tank. Yeah.
I literally bought multiple coloring books.
Did you really?
Yes.
Wow.
I have coloring books by my bed. I bought markers, and
What is it about coloring?
It's soothing. It's just something soothing. It takes your mind off of what is going on.
Right.
You know, think about artists. They can paint for hours.
Right.
It's their zone.
I get it. Yeah, as a graphic designer,
they're in their zone.
Yeah.
And so even though you may not be a creative person, if you take a coloring book that's got all these little intricate, and they now have coloring books and apps on your phone. Like I even put the apps on my phone.
Are you serious?
Where you can actually color by number, paint by number. on your phone. Yeah. So during the beginning of the pandemic, I was doing that for hours. I would sit in my bed and I would just paint, or I had my coloring book and I would just sit there and color. And just remember when we were kids, it just kind of takes you back to like a time less complicated.
Yeah, exactly. Very nostalgic.
Very moment. Nostalgic. Brings you back to your childhood and just kind of brings up those, you know, warm and fuzzy feelings of just being less stressed.
Yeah, carefree.
Yes,
carefree
very
moment.
carefree. Yeah. So do something creative. And so those are a couple of the things that I have on my 31 days of self-care for the month of March.
All right. So you just stepped out on faith and hired someone.
So I really did not step out on faith. It came to me.
Okay.
So literally I had just had a weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, of working with a makeup artist friend who just moved to Miami. And I had been saying this for months prior to this person coming, but I just kept saying, I need help because I get the calls. I get people wanting to have services at the same time. And I have the space. I actually created a room for multiple services.
Right.
And so this young lady reached out to me on Valentine's Day.
Nice.
And asked if I was hiring. And I was like, yeah, and what's crazy is that my current mentor that I'm doing a mentorship program with,
you have a mentor?
No. Yes. So I'm in a mentorship program right now for my business, my spa business.
Is someone who's helping you, or
she's
like
helping me?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So she's helping me. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I never realized that.
And it's not like one-on-one or anything like that. It's a very grouped mentorship.
Okay.
And so in the group, it was just mentioned like maybe the weekend before or a couple weekends prior that you need to hire. Like you need to hire. Now I already have a virtual assistant. I have a social media manager. I have a person working on my website.
Okay.
So those are people that I hire. Right. Out. That's another form of self-care. Delegate.
Oh my gosh. Because we can't do it all. We cannot do it all. As much as we try to do it. Yeah.
It makes my head hurt thinking of some of the things that I tried to do in the past and trying to get it all done one person and then serve people. Yeah. Like it's doing too much.
Yeah.
It's doing way too much.
I get it. Trust me. Yeah.
But yeah, so she mentioned you need to hire someone. You need to hire a team. You need someone else to work with you. You're not going to be solopreneur for long. Right. And you shouldn't want to be solopreneur for long because it really puts a cap on your growth. Yeah. And I never wanted to be solopreneur anyway. So it was just the logistics of things. And so we had an event for Valentine's Day weekend, and we were doing couples treatments for women, and just the two of us were doing this service. Okay. And even just with doing that,
because I remember when you
were exhausted.
Yeah, you were saying that you keep getting requests for couples
every day.
Massages
every day. I just got a text message yesterday of a couple wanting me to do couples massage in their home, and I had to let them know it's just me right now and turning that down. So I'm constantly having to turn that down, which is good that I have the reputation that I have, but it's bad because I'm having to turn away money. Yeah. Just speaking in that weekend and previous weekends, I need help. I need someone to come alongside me and to like walk this journey with me, to like take me further, take me to the next level, scale my business. And we were scheduled to do that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which was Valentine's Day. We were scheduled to do Monday, Valentine's Day, for our event, but we had nobody booked for that day for the event. But I had a couple of appointments booked that day. But she text messaged me that morning asking if I was hiring. And I was like, yes, I am. Wow. I need help. I've been saying that. So I did reach back out to her. We spoke, and the rest is history.
Well, congratulations on that. So this month you're celebrating March into your own, what was it?
March into self-care. So March into 31 days of self-care is kind of my March campaign. Okay.
Is there any special attached to that you want to let everyone know about?
What we are offering, again, hiring the new esthetician. She's an esthetician. With hiring her, I'm also training her on massage modalities. And she's been practicing for the past couple of weeks.
Are you looking for models at the time?
I have been looking for, I actually have models. And what I did, I'm very specific about the models.
Okay.
Because I want people that are already clients.
Right.
To give us a real assessment of her work.
Gotcha. So they'll know the difference.
And they're also going to be a little bit more verbal about like giving feedback. Okay. So we really want authentic feedback.
Right.
So we've done that. We did that last week, and we're doing that this week. And but what we're offering as a I guess special, if you will, we're doing where you can get a 90-minute facial with 30 minutes of massage incorporated into that facial. So it's 90 minutes total, but within that facial, about 30 minutes of that is going to be massage. Okay. And so I've trained her on doing like the foot massage. She's already trained in reflexology, and most estheticians know a little bit of massaging because that is kind of what they teach you in school. Right. Is to do a little bit of arm and hand massage, a little bit of foot massage, and a little bit of neck and shoulder. Okay. But I gave her my tips on massage because a lot of estheticians really don't know how to do massage because they're not really trained to be massage therapists. And I have that background. That was kind of the first thing that I did was massage. So I've kind of got that down as far as like that part of creating a nice experience. So I'm teaching her how to kind of give a massage according to what I've learned over the years that is going to be a little bit more effective and kind of elevate our facial service. So that's a service that we are offering for this month, and possibly next month. I think we may end up going into next month with that. It is a 90-minute deluxe facial, and you're getting a foot soak, a foot scrub, you're getting aromatherapy, you're getting hot steam towels. And so that's, we have that service that we're offering, and it is $135, and it's a regular price $160. So that's what we're offering.
Awesome. All right. As we close, you want to tell everyone where they can find you on social media? We got about 2 more minutes.
Absolutely. So you can actually find me on Instagram at infinite_possibilities_spa. And you can also find me on Facebook at Infinite Possibilities Spa. And you can also go to my website, www.infinitepossibilitiesspa.com.
All right, guys. This has been an interview with LaToya Forbins, one of my really good friends. We are celebrating Women's History Month. Thank you so much for joining me and my guests on the TamCam Show. We will see you next time. Take care, guys.